First question to Oliver. First off, the meaning of coming to Seattle for you, and then after the trade went down, how long did it take for you to gather what you've built so far in your NHL career and understand the meaning of taking that to Seattle?
Yeah, um, obviously a big call to get a trade like that. After some time, when I had some time to think about it, I started getting really excited about it. Obviously, Seattle's they've been in the league now for 1 year, so I would assume there's a lot of buzz about the team around the city and excitement about a new team. So for myself to thinking about being a part of that and hopefully getting together a winning culture there is yeah, it's really exciting for me to think about. So no, I'm ready for this journey and really excited to get there.
Let's go with Kate next.
Where were you when you found out that you were traded to the Seattle Kraken?
I was on my honeymoon in the middle of I don't know, the bushes in South Africa. So there's a little bit of a time difference. So I think it was like 11 at night there. But no, I was out in the middle of nowhere, and I saw a few missed calls and figured I'd have to call back and hear what it was. I kind of figured what the phone call was about, um, but yeah, that's where I was.
Derek Harper.
Oliver, what lessons will you bring from your time in Columbus as a leader of that team into Seattle?
Hopefully some experience. Um, I was fortunate enough to my first pro year. Columbus didn't have a good year, and I got an opportunity to play a few games. But the following years, I was a part of being on a team that had good seasons, had a lot of good veteran players I could learn from, and made the playoffs. And obviously, wish some of the seasons we could have gone a little further in playoffs, but we did have a big series against Tampa. And just kind of learning what it takes to be first of all, making it to the playoffs, which is huge, and then also having a taste of what it takes to win a series in the NHL. So yeah, hopefully this experience, and again, I just want to I want to just help the team win in Seattle, and um, you know hopefully I can bring something good there.
Let's go Brian Hedrick.
Hey, Ollie, how are you, bud?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, a quick two-parter for you here. Just kind of building on what you just said there. It kind of sounds like, did you have some kind of inkling, maybe before you went on your honeymoon, that something may go down just because of the salary cap situation? A, and then I guess part B would be, there's been a recent number of players that have signed contract extensions here in Columbus, obviously, and you were the first one to really start that ball rolling down the hill. I mean, from that aspect, is it disappointing, to get the news?
Yeah. After the signing of Gaudreau, obviously, I could see that, and with obviously, I would assume that we would, like they did, sign Patty. I figured that somebody had to go. So I knew it was a possibility. I don't think I really thought deep about it that I was the one to go. I guess I didn't look closely enough about the situation of maybe young guys coming up and future signings in the future and so on, and where they're at. So uh, I wouldn't say I expected that phone call. So yeah, yeah, it was a little bit of a shocker getting that call. Sorry, what was the second part of the question?
Sorry, I was just saying, you were the first one to really kind of, sign here and say, "Hey, I want to be here," that kind of thing. And obviously, this is a business. We all know that there's business reasons why that trade happens, but you're the guy who gets moved, obviously, and just kind of your feelings on that.
Yeah. I mean, I signed. Yeah, I mean, I personally signed a 5-year deal because I wanted to be a part of a team. At the time, things were a little bit up in the air as far as where the team was going, but I really like being in Columbus, and I had confidence that we were going to get back on track and get together a good team, and I still think that they're on the right track. So Yeah, I mean, the plan for me was for sure that I wanted to be there. I wouldn't have signed a deal like that if I didn't feel comfortable and believed in the organization. So, uh, yeah, but things happen, and I'm not sure if they knew. When a guy like Gaudreau comes up, they obviously take their shot and try to get him, and it put him in a tough decision. So, and I think it was for them, but. Yeah, it's a business, and decisions like that have to be made.
Bob Condor.
Hey, Oliver, welcome to Seattle.
Thank you.
You had a great season last year, had some career highs. Are there things that you are going to work on that you want to work on to improve and bring out here to the Kraken?
Yeah, I think points wise, goal wise, I had a good season. Not too happy about my plus minuses. Something I want to straighten out on. I think there's just small areas around the game that I can improve on, and I think it's just there's small little details of playing a 200-foot game, coming back in the zone, not putting the brakes on, keep on skating if you have to back check. Just small little details defensively, I think that can help my game and also bring the puck to my blade a little bit more. So. Probably defensively, but like defensively all over the ice, I would say.
Scott Malone.
Hi, Oliver. You've already obviously played the Kraken only a handful of times last season. Wondering what your first impression was of the team and how, if anything, that has changed in the couple weeks since the trade.
I hadn't thought too much about it. Like you said, it's a new team, so I've only played them twice, and it's kind of hard to gather what you exactly think of the team. But I'm looking at the lineup, and I see what players they have, and obviously a lot of the players they do have, and they have some exciting draft picks that are going to be a part of the future. So looking at it, I really like the group. A lot of good players in the team, so I think that it looks like the potential is there, and for myself, I'm happy to be a part of that. And yeah, I don't see why we couldn't be a competitive team when you look at the lineup.
Mike Benton.
Oliver, when you go through the emotions of leaving Columbus, what are you thinking when you first see the Blue Jackets and the schedule come up on January 28th and then going back to Nationwide Arena?
Yeah, I have some time to think about that. It's going to be a while, but I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm excited. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be weird. I have a lot of good memories from Columbus, and I'm sure most guys who play a decent amount of time in a club that it's a little bit odd playing that first game, and especially the first game at home or in your old home. So yeah, I'll have it marked in the calendar. I'm ready to play against them at that point.
John Bart.
Hi, Oliver. So you played with Alexander Wenberg a bit when he was in Columbus, and then you also know probably Alexander True, who's in the organization. Have you had any communications with them about the move to Seattle and kind of settling in here?
I mostly texted a little bit with Wenberg. Like I said, I was on my honeymoon, so I didn't really feel like making long phone calls and so on. I try to enjoy my time, but he did text me, and we texted back a little bit forth, and gave me a few pointers in Seattle and so on. I know he has a busy time too. I think he just got married, so I didn't want to bother him too much either. And Alexander, I just touched base with him quick, but there hasn't been a crazy amount of communication. But when he was there to help me out with anything, if I needed any help.
Thanks.
Kate.
Obviously, you spent a good portion of time in Portland. I was wondering, do you have fond memories of the Pacific Northwest?
Yeah. No, I love my time there. I love being in Portland, and obviously playing there. I like the lifestyle out there, all that stuff. So I only have good memories from it, and I'm used to the rain, so it won't be too much of a different or shocker for me.
Erica Ayala.
Thank you, Oliver. Sawabona there. Good to see you. I have two questions for you. One is, you mentioned your time in Columbus early in your career. There obviously are set to be some young players in this Kraken lineup. What do you think you can take specifically from that time in your early career and then utilize that as you're mentoring some of the young players? And then the second question about South Africa, the Rainbow Nation. I'm just curious why you and your wife picked that place, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about that. Donkey.
Yeah. No, I mean, the young guys, I think, at least like my approach would be just to, if you see them struggling or having questions or so on, just giving them your 2 cents of how to handle things or going about it. Obviously, it's different going from juniors to the NHL level. It's more intensity. There's probably more games and all that stuff. So there'll be learning curves. And again, I was fortunate to be able to look up to guys in Columbus and see how they handle things and, giving advice here and there. So I'll try to do the same thing, but obviously it's, I got to find my place too in Seattle and figure out what I am there. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes about. Yeah. And Safari, we wanted to do, we just wanted to do a big trip, a memorable trip for our honeymoon. And, yeah, we thought about a lot of things. It could be Australia, whatever. But ultimately we just heard a lot of good things about South Africa, Cape Town, safaris there. So yeah, we just decided on that, and it didn't disappoint. So we're happy we chose it.
Time for 2 more here. Let's go back to Brian.
Were you actually on a safari when you got the phone call?
No, it was late. We just got back from dinner at the lodge we're at. So no, I was not out on a drive. So but we were at the hotel lodge, whatever you call it. Just got back from dinner and was about to head to bed. So yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. Last year, obviously, last season, this past season, you got to wear a letter. You were part of the official leadership group here. What kind of stuff did you learn, in that past season about leadership, about wearing a letter and having guys on the team look up to you? Kind of what you were just talking about a little bit.
Yeah, obviously, that was a huge honor getting that. And I'll remember wearing that letter in Columbus for a long time. So huge honor. I mean, there's just a certain level of pressure, I guess, wearing a letter like that. Like, at least for myself, getting into the league, you look up to the leadership group and the guys that's been in the league for at least a few years and what they've achieved so far. So I don't know, for myself, just put a little bit extra pressure on myself, try to lead the way and be a pro. So I don't know, it was a learning curve. Again, that was a new thing for me that I had to learn. And, I still need to, I would have to, it might take a few years before you really learn what it takes to wear a letter.
All right, last one here, Mike Benton.
And Oliver, touching on that point about you wearing a letter in Columbus, what are you learning as far as what are the greatest core values that define you as a leader and help you guide your teammates?
I think it's just how you approach every game, making sure, even if you're having a bad game, that you're battling hard out there. I think, having obviously I had Nick Foligno as a captain, for the majority of the years, but last year, having a guy like Boone being a captain and the way he goes about the games, bad game or good game for him, he's battling, he's blocking shots, he's leading the way, he has the right attitude, he practices the right way. So I just think it's those core fundamentals as a leader you have to make sure you're on top on, because if young guys or other guys on the team are seeing an assistant captain or a captain, not practicing the right way or skipping on the workouts that they want us doing, or letting go in games, it's gonna spread out to the whole team. So as leadership groups on the team, you got to make sure, you're just leading the right way. And I personally think those are the ways to lead.
All right, well, thanks, Oliver. Welcome to Seattle. We're happy to have you. Thanks, everyone.